now I'm boarding Z-Web TV's specially designed, absolutely radical 747 flying music station. It's like no airplane you've ever seen.
We have reason to believe that your tower is in danger. You must evacuate immediately.
There's nothing unusual happening here, sir.
Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. This is the movie podcast where we're talking sequels, and we do it in two parts. The first, an interview with an actress or someone involved that made the film worth watching. And the second, a discussion of the sequel, what they got right, what they got wrong, and how it could have been better. Hope you enjoyed last week's interview with actress, model, star of this week's sequel, Turbulence 3, Heavy Metal, Monica Schnarr. We talked about her out of the blue saying, man, I want to do this modeling. And then she is the youngest ever to win the Ford modeling contest at 14. 15, she's in Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit issue. So we talked about how different times are then versus now, how she got into acting, a cool Diet Coke commercial she did with Elton John, a great Arnold story. So if you haven't checked it out, please, please, please check it out after this week's review, where we are covering a movie that it is like the most beautiful thing. The fact that all of these things happen in one movie and they make zero sense. Like, there's so many things I can't wait to talk about. One, I can't stop thinking about. I think I woke up thinking about it this morning, this one part of the movie. But before I say anything more, I got to introduce you to my partner in the sequel watching journey and fellow Slade Kraven fan, Jamie Riccardi. Jamie, how are you?
I'm okay, Doug. I'm definitely okay. How are you doing?
I really don't know how a movie like this gets made. Because just real quick, the first thing is that not even the fact that how crazy this is compared to the other movies. I don't remember the second one too well, but the first crazy thing that you're fastening your seatbelt for a sequel watching, Craig Sheffer's in Turbulence 2.
I know. As a different character.
Yeah, his name's Martin, and this one he's Nick Watts. Why? I don't know. Could Martin not be? Now, if Martin died, that makes this even crazier. Or maybe he faked his death, or he did survive and then changed his name to Nick Watts. The hacker named Spectre.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you didn't like the movie.
Oh, I did not like. This is one of the hardest movies I've had to watch. But what is crazy to me is a movie that is this bad, like really this bad, took me 4 days to watch. But it had so much going on. So it's kind of bizarre. There was really, I take it back. So there's 2 scenes in this movie that are way too long. The checking of the security.
Or the music video?
The music video, and then the landing of the plane.
Oh, okay.
That was really crazy.
Okay. All right. So because I know you were excited to watch this movie, right? Because you were like, the trailer looked crazy. You're like, I hated this movie. And I know we had a discussion, a group chat, and I hated it. I think, first of all, the actors in the movie hated it because they all except honestly, I think Monica was the best actor in the movie. I mean,
whoa, what a twist! What a twist!
I didn't expect that, and I think she did a good job. But now that I'm a professional background actor, you may see me in Happy Gilmore 2. You may see me in Poker Face. But it's funny when I watch these movies now. And I see a lot of the background actors, and not even just the background actors, just all the actors. It seemed like it's just like awful acting. Like, it makes me think, like, if I went to Hollywood today, you and me both, and we just went to a producer and say, hey, we want to be in a movie. Can you guys act? Sure. We can probably act better than anyone in this movie. I mean, seriously, it makes me wonder, why didn't I never try to get into acting? Because who's hiring these people? The acting is awful. And I look at you. So we have a big name in here. Joe. Oh, we have a few big names, but Joe Montana, right? That's his name.
Joe Montana, Rucker Hauer.
Okay, Rucker. Okay. First of all, they didn't use Rucker Hauer the right way. That's first of all.
And he didn't know how to use a gun because somehow no blood came out.
Okay, but isn't he a Vietnam vet?
I don't know what he was.
He was. He talked about the military, and I thought,
I know, but he was just. He seemed like a lost old man that should not be flying a plane.
Well, okay, because there's a lot more to that story because we're gonna get to the whole plot of this movie, which is ridiculous. But Joe Montana, he looked like he did not want to be there. Like he's doing someone a favor.
Yeah. No, he did. He was like really. Every line trailed off. He'd be like, "Oh, yeah. Make sure you call the FBI."
He just he doesn't fit for the. I mean, the guy's in so many good stuff. And then there's a scene that it feels like he thought the cameras weren't running, and he goes to the guy as they're leaving the building. Hey, you guys, you want to go? You want to get some lunch or dinner? And like as they're walking out of the scene, because first of all, the whole newsroom area or whatever is like empty. There's like two people working there.
Wait, you mean ZTV, where the girl has double barrel puka shell necklace?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's two people working there. Like it doesn't make, but as he's leaving, there's a big room, him and this guy, and this last line is like, hey, you want to get dinner? Like nothing to do in the movie. And it almost sounded like, all right, it's all done. Let's get dinner. Like it's
the last scene we're ever shooting. Let's get out of here.
That's what it looked like. That's what it felt like.
Like that guy too, like the director, it made me feel like he was involved. The way he was like talking to Joe Montana, and he was like, "Whoa," very defensive. And then in my head, I'm like, "Is he involved in this?" Nothing with him. He was like involved so much that it's like, we're gonna stop your story. You just hang out in the back.
It really seems like nobody cares about their job. I mean, like the FBI agent. She literally does not care about her job because she puts her job in jeopardy constantly, not listening to the rules. I mean, there's so much to uncover. I mean, the whole plane situation, that first of all, okay, maybe I'm showing my age, but I don't consider that heavy metal. Like, that's like goth music. I mean, like, I'm thinking heavy metal, like, I mean, again, it's age, but like Quiet Riot, like musicians.
Well,
like
that's like hair metal. No, I don't know. I don't know if it's heavy.
So Marilyn Manson is heavy metal.
Heavy metal, yeah.
I don't think so. That's not heavy metal. That's like gothy. Like it's not. That's not heavy metal. Heavy metal is like instruments and rock and like guitar, like
Slayer,
Slayer,
Pantera.
Correct.
Okay,
correct. That's heavy metal. This is like, first of all, the type of fans. They really like.
Oh my
god! It's real. Every single one of them. Like that's like. I mean,
There's
so
nobody
stupid.
that came from work and couldn't change to their goth outfit.
Okay. Not only that, we're jumping so far ahead.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. In this movie, I think we're gonna have to jump around. So, how about the fact that Kraven? First of all, I thought that was his last name. No, I'm sorry. I thought that was his first name. Because Kraven sounds like a first name.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a Kraven.
Kraven the Hunter? Kraven the Hunter?
Well, that's what I was thinking of. But they all show up in makeup as if they live like that all the time. Like, they weren't like, I would assume that they would, like, they would get dressed on the plane, put the car, whatever. Like, they literally, like, show up. Because you get to an airport, you're not taking off right away. You have to, besides going through customs and all that stuff, and you're waiting for the plane and everybody on board. They're going to sit there for the entire time with their makeup. Like, they're not going to do it, like, on board, behind the scenes, So, yeah, they made it look like they live like that all the time.
And you can have a dickhead TSA agent that says OID. This isn't you. In your photo, you don't have white face paint.
Okay. That TSA scene, every single one of those people had some kind of weapon on them. Because of all the metal that they went through. How did anyone get through? Like, she literally is wanding them, every single person, and you don't hear any beeping going off? Like, everyone's wearing metal. Everyone has spikes. Their outfits were weapons, chains, and I think everyone could have used a weapon there, and they're just walking right onto the plane.
Oh, do you remember what Slade had?
He had shin guards.
Metal. He had metal.
metal shin guards. Like that's what I'm saying. Like no wonder they're able to sneak a gun on the plane. They all look like they're carrying some kind. They had knives for like necklaces and earrings, and like there were so many dangerous things that were just bringing on that plane.
So let's talk about the whole beginning. What's happening in this movie? There, Slade Kraven, the band, is going to play their last show ever live on the internet, which we'll talk about that. That'll like the feed and the counter that only counts in thousands.
It was, and when they were losing people, it was counting by ones. Because it kept going like, well, because we're losing viewers, and it literally was just counting backwards. It was, but somehow the viewers came right back on when Kraven came out, so they knew immediately.
Somehow it went up to 10 million, and it was like 10. Wasn't it $20 a pay-per-view buy or something? And I'm like, because I remember when they had like 2 million, I'm like, oh my god, they're cleaning house. But then I was like, how much is it cost to rent a 747 that has like a movie set stage that looks like something out of Aliens?
I mean, it was huge. And okay, how about the fact that they had that whole stage area look like it's right next to the cockpit? Wouldn't that be Wouldn't that be a distraction? Like, I mean, like, I mean, and I mean, what I can understand if you're on the plane, it's a cool experience. All right, we're gonna have a concert on the plane, but why would any viewer care? Like, because like it's like a small area, so you couldn't have like the special effects of a concert, really. And like, really, that's exciting to watch, like him on a plane playing, like, like I didn't see like the big hype of why they would want to do it on a plane.
I don't either. And all I thought about was like, what if I want to leave? Or I'm not feeling it? I have to just go back to my seat. You know what is great about this movie? You would think that plane has to be ginormous. Obviously, it's not like short. It has one big high spot. So like, there's not enough people on that plane. They wouldn't let that go in the air. Maybe
no.
There's not that many fans at all.
No, and they don't sit down until like they sit down when they take off, and they're standing the entire time.
But not for the whole thing, because they're like, where are they going? They're already getting off. Remember the flight attendant was all
yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And there's also a room where they were hiding, prisoners. So like that's on the plane also.
That is true, yeah.
And they knew there was a big storm coming. Do you think it's smart to have all that electrical equipment? First of all, you go on a plane today, they tell you to turn your Wi-Fi off when you're flying. So you have all this electrical equipment that's not going to interfere with the plane.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't think a plane, I think they would have to delay it. Or like, again, you're going to fly into a storm knowing that you have this rock concert where no one's sitting down and all this craziness is going on.
Yeah. I don't Turbulence, everybody flying.
Yeah.
Smacking their heads around. Oh my god. You know, there's some people in movies you always remember because of like an iconic scene they're in. Like one that comes to mind is like American Pie 2 with the walkie-talkies when the girls are talking and then everybody else.
Yeah.
So in Scary Movie, the WhatsApp scene, he's in this movie. He's one of the fans and he's wearing the same bucket hat that he wore
really?
in. Yeah,
oh, wow.
It looks exactly the same, but it was like, what's up? He was like one of the early guys in that scene to say what's up. And it was, he's in this movie as one of the fans. He has like crappy, like white face paint.
Yeah. These fans, I mean, like, it's just ridiculous. First of all, the whole idea of this Kraven and and how the fans are drooling all over him. First of all, he looked like a creepy guy, even without the makeup.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So let's get to the plot before we dig into the plot. If I'm not mistaken, is they wanted to, or not they, is it's one terrorist.
The
one
fake.
No. Okay. Right, there's three. There's three people.
Yeah. Which is insane. Why would they have more to make more action? Have like other henchmen.
They're terrorists, but only one person has a gun. No. Rucker Hauer has
Monica
one.
had a gun. Monica had a gun.
No, she picked it up. I don't think she had her own gun.
Oh,
I think
she picked it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
But So the plan was they're, I guess, in a cult or something where they feel like if they crash this plane into a church in Kansas,
in the eastern part of Kansas, it'll take them to the seventh layer of hell.
That is the dumbest plot.
I can't believe it.
And I can't, like, that's the best they can come up with, like, for taking over a plane. And so, okay, let's just say that's their big plan. Rutger Howard ruins that plan the minute he shoots himself.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
So why, like they had control of the plane. He's the only pilot left. The plan is to crash it in Kansas. So he shoots himself before they get there, so no one can fly the plane. So it's gonna crash anywhere. So the plane goes out the window. Like, what was the point of that? Like,
when he did that, I'm like, this makes no sense. He's involved in this. I can understand. Like, at that point when he did that was when it was actual Slade Kraven. So it was Slade going in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It was not the bad guy version. It was the good one.
We don't see the bad guy anymore. First of all,
no. What do you mean? The bad guy was in it for a good part of the movie.
Not at that point, because that's when he starts flying. Kraven starts flying.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm saying he walks in, so it's not like the bad guy had the gun pointed to him. Like,
no, of course, that's what I'm saying. Right?
He just shot himself on his own with no reason.
100%.
For no reason.
Well, yeah. I mean, it made no. And again, that defeats the purpose of your whole mission, was to crash into Kansas into a church when you're killing yourself before you even get there. So now, like, I mean, obviously, we would never have the Kraven hacker landing of a plane, which is, ridiculous. But and Kraven is an awful good guy, like a hero, like the fight, like that's your, like, I don't know, like, to me, again, I would have rather seen Rutger Howard not part of it and let him take, like, because that's what he does, right? He's the guy, he does action movie and stuff. Kraven, like he gets by on luck. Everything that happens, like, between the bad Kraven, between Monica, like, everything, he just gets lucky. I mean, the whole electric chair is ridiculous, so.
The electric chair, that by itself is ridiculous, but
yeah, because that, I'm sure that's not going to disrupt anything in the cockpit, having an electric chair with
just it is so funny that's when the switch happens. It's like, after that first song, we didn't see it. Like, we didn't see anything happen, right?
Yeah.
Because the guy we saw get shot was the security guard, like, on the hidden camera at Spectre's. That was what we saw there, but we never saw the actual switch from whatever that terrorist guy name. I wrote his name down so we get to it.
What happened was, it was after the electric chair scene, Kraven leaves. Like a typical rock star. That's when the switch happens.
But Kraven's not in on it. I'm saying we don't know as an audience.
Oh, right. Correct. Yeah, because the terrorists just happen to find someone that looks exactly like Kraven. Exactly.
Yeah. It's weird.
Ridiculous. So ridiculous.
But yeah, no. And the only thing I wrote that I just scanned, like, later in the movie was, we really should have gotten a Captain Kirk scene with both the Kravens next to each other. One person with a gun, Monica with a gun, and then chooses the wrong.
That's, you know what? No, I'm the real Kraven. That's, it's
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Well, he sang his own songs, by the way. The actor sang the songs.
I can tell.
And the fact that we had to watch the entire song.
Oh, I know, like, dude. It's like, we get it. You practice.
Awful. Like, it was
God.
And you know what? I mean, the movie's called Turbulence, but there was no turbulence. It was just there was no turbulence. It was just not having a pilot. So the plane was going down because there was no pilot, but there was no turbulence. It just, like, it's so stupid. And it took 40 minutes to get anything, because there was so much Kraven crap that anything really happened. I think it took like 30 to 40 minutes before we even got into anything. And it's only an hour and a half of a movie. So
yeah. So our buddy, and I texted him recently, he's going to be at what was it, in Cherry Hill, the horror con. Brad Lorry played Michael Myers in Halloween 8. He texted me randomly, like, I think it was like Happy New Year or Merry Christmas. And then I interviewed Monica, like, the next week after it. And it's so funny because when I looked at his credits, I watched a few of the movies, and the name was like Stop Now. So I'm like, oh, he's probably like some hitman in this movie or like a henchman. And then we watched the movie. He's the FAA tower guy. So he doubled as like doing stunts in this movie, and then he's like a kind of a serious role. Like, yeah, no, everything's fine over here.
You know what? I'm not surprised because, like I said, the actors it almost looked like it was a bunch of extras they had and say, hey, listen, we're gonna give you speaking lines, you're gonna do whatever you want, and they went out there. I mean, they tried acting, but like it was awful. Like the girl that was in love with Kraven, she was awful. Like what an awful act. Like everybody. I mean. And listen, the hacker, I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, right? He's a big name.
I love Craig. He's right. Insane.
I mean, he's in a lot of stuff, right? But I mean,
we covered him. He was in Hellraiser Inferno. He played the main cop in that movie.
Yeah. No, he's in a lot of stuff. So I was looking for him on Instagram, like, hey, maybe we get Turbulence too, but he doesn't have an Instagram. So I couldn't find him.
He's funky like that. Think of the program, the character he plays in that, like the Joe Kane as the quarterback. Like, oh my God, he's so good.
No, he is. But, I mean, even he overacted. I mean, he's dancing alone. Right?
The fact that he is in a movie and there's a lot of people in this movie and it's just them two. Well, that's the only scene partner has in the whole movie. That's it.
But that's everybody, right? I mean, again, maybe it's a budget thing.
For the most part, yeah.
Joe Montana is mostly with that one guy.
They're all together. They're all together for that first scene, and then they break up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't talk about that one of that first scene. So, what was the point of zooming in on the the yellow teeth of the woman and the guy when they were talking? It was like a zoom into their mouth. The first scene, like you remember the scene or no?
Yeah.
It was literally before we saw their face, we had a zoom up of their teeth. Both of them don't have great teeth, and we're watching a conversation of teeth back and forth. There was no point to do that. Like they're hiding. Like who's talking right now? Like is this a cameo or something? No, it's just regular people.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember her? Did you ever watch Bird Notice on USA? She was in that whole series, Gabrielle Atwar, because she has such a familiar face. She's also in Three Musketeers, like the '93 one.
Oh, that was a good one. What the one with Charlie
Kiefer and all those guys.
That was a great one.
And I'm like, man, she has a funny twist in this movie too. That's really great.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so I'm like, man, she looks so familiar. Like, oh my God, because she kind of looks like the daughter from Parent of the Bride or Father of the Bride. She kind of looks like the daughter, like a little bit. And I'm like, it can't be her. But dude, their character, the fact that she wants to go get him, she goes, can I go get this mother hecker? And he's like, no, Kate, no.
And like I said, she puts her job in jeopardy multiple times. Like literally, she should be fired. And it's just so ridiculous. But I mean, look at what she does at the end. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. Like I like that. So.
But this is the era of like hackers and Escape from LA, like the way computers look. How about like when just before she says the line of "Let's take this mother hacker down," they're like zooming in on his location, and you're like the way they're making the map like in 3D.
Oh my gosh.
And you're like, no, that's not how that ever would work.
No, and like always, when they're hacking or on the plane. Using a walkie-talkie, I think. Didn't he have a walkie-talkie or something? They were able to go exactly to the FBI, where they needed to go, like the exact channel or how to, like the right people. Like, I mean, somehow the right people. I mean, FBI is huge. Like this, so many locations, yet they're able to go right where they need to go. And do you think? Would walkie-talkies work from an airplane to, like where? I mean, didn't he have a walkie-talkie? I thought he had. What did Kraven? First of all, okay.
Oh, what was he talking to him on? Yeah. What was that?
Well, no, he did have a microphone at one point, but you abduct Kraven, I guess. You lock him up in a room with a bunch of computers and microphones that he can, if he happens to escape, he can use it to alert everybody.
Yeah.
Like that's like when you throw them in the bathroom, like the bathrooms are small. You throw them in the bathroom,
dude.
you lock it up.
Yeah,
you
there's a lot of mistakes. Yeah, you lock him in the bathroom, or when Kraven takes him out later, he just leaves him on the floor. No locking doors, no nothing.
And again, don't finish a job either. Like like when he knocked him out, like we say this all the time. Like how come no one like ties anyone up or does anything? Like they just let him. And like I said, I don't know where that area was, but like that was a pretty big area where they had him.
It was way too big. Why would that be on that plane?
No, like, see, and again, if they rented this plane, what like did they take the seats out to make room? Like how'd they have a plane? Like if they're not using this plane, who's using this plane for the built of the plane and the blueprint of the plane? Who's using it like that?
Could you imagine if that's a thing that maybe that's only for rich people? Like how much was the fans to pay to get on there? Like maybe that is the thing. Like every artist, oh yeah, you want to go on this flight, the Beyonce flight, the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young flight. But yeah, I don't know what else you would do in it, but it just was ridiculous.
Yes,
that was the point of this movie.
And where were they flying to? I mean, not the terrorists.
They were going to Toronto. That was their last concert. They're going.
So everybody's going to Toronto?
Yeah, everybody's going to go to Toronto. All right, see you guys. They get there, they all, bye.
So you're paying all that money. And so, okay, you think about it, you got to pay for the flight. So you're seeing this concert. I'm assuming a flight to Toronto is not cheap, right? So, and you got to get a round trip because you got to come back. And then you pay for the ticket price. I mean, you're talking about a lot of money back in 2001, for a concert that's what? I mean, he literally played one song and left.
Oh man,
ridiculous.
So now we get to talk about like if I could pick a part of this movie, my favorite part of this movie, if I had to rewatch a section of it, would be the Craig Sheffer part. So when we first see him, I thought I had bandanas. I didn't have any because I was gonna wear one.
The way he wore
watching. The way he had a bandana that matched his like bandana kind of pattern shirt and his glasses. And the first time we see him, he's a big Kraven fan. So that's where we see the first thing we see him. He's logging in to Z-Web TV, and it's terrible.
He first of all, how did he get security cameras on there? Like, because he said he had hidden cameras on there.
No, Slavin. No. On the flight, they had hidden cameras. He just tapped into them.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so his goal was just to watch the concert.
Yeah, that's all he wanted to do is just hack in and watch it for free.
He was dressed like a gang member.
He couldn't afford the $10.
No, but he was dressed like a gang member. Like I thought he was part of.
Oh yeah, dude. He looked like Jamie Kennedy in Malibu's Most Wanted, dude.
Why does Jamie Kennedy come up in every movie that we review?
You know, I mean,
not for nothing.
We're giving him treasure. Jamie, we love you.
We're giving him more like screen time, talking about his name that he's getting because no one knows who he is anymore. So we're like,
everybody remembers the Jamie Kennedy experiment on Channel 11 WB.
We're keeping him relevant. He owes us. He owes us. So okay,
he's made some sequels.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even have a TV anymore. He
probably doesn't have a TV anymore.
He's not doing anything.
He's a bajillionaire. No TV.
Oh, weird. Bajillionaire? What? From his stuff? He's not a bajillionaire.
Scream.
He's working at Acme right now.
Scream
what are you talking about?
2.
Okay. Yeah. How much do you think he made for those?
Scream 3. The videotape scene.
Oh, God, please. I'm sure he's a nice guy,
man.
But he's probably working at Acme. So
no way. He has a big podcast right now.
Oh, yeah, big.
So yes.
No, go ahead.
So no, we all the fans are going, and just because we're bouncing around, all I remember is like when they showed the title credits, I was like, oh my God, I forgot that we didn't get these yet. It was like 10, 15 minutes. And then we finally got that. And then that's when they were doing all the scanning everybody in line. Like that's when we saw the only 2 girls that were like non-gothish that were like
no,
the main
no.
girls.
Well, the one was kind of like she was dressed a little
Yeah.
The one normal one, and then everyone else, it was like a circus.
Over the top.
It was way over the top. Like that's what like heavy metal fans look like. That's basically what you're saying. I don't think so. Even people that go to a Marilyn Manson, obviously they're trying to copy Marilyn Manson. You go to one of his concerts, I don't think every fan's gonna look like that. You may get a handful, but I don't think, yeah, that was just so, you know what? Why didn't they just get Marilyn Manson to play the role?
That would have been good. Right around this time? That'd have been right at, he got really big, like 97, 98.
Right.
It's been good.
So,
he would have been his downward.
That's what I mean.
Direct to
it would have been good. And he's acted. I mean, he's been in, he was in a show recently I saw that he was in prison. And he acted. So, I mean, he's done some acting. This would have been perfect for him.
And even if he does no acting, it would have been perfect for him. Fits right in.
He does. He'd make a better Kraven than Kraven. So
that would be good. So now I wrote one of my notes is Kate's not giving a good performance so far. Like when she wants to like leave and not listen. And it's funny, like I checked out her IMDb and I was like, oh, Burn Notice. That was a big show. But she was in a movie 3 years after this with Craig Sheffer, Rutger Hauer, and it's a movie called
oh my gosh,
Killer Bees. And I'm like, all right. It had like 4 different names, but the trailer looked like terrible. You couldn't even see it. It was so grainy. But yeah, like a few years after this.
Oh my gosh. Like I said, I mean, I don't know if they gave, if it's the script and the movie's fault, or they really they knew they had a stinker and they just went through the motion and try to have fun with it. Because it just really, I really feel like the acting all around was just so bad. It was just we've covered a lot of bad movies, and I think we said the movie's so bad, but they gave it all they got. I don't think anyone gave it all they got. I think they gave a little, but they didn't give it all they got.
Yeah. The only person that I really enjoy, because I do like Craig Sheffer, because I think he's such a weird, eccentric guy. He does have a lot of fun with this role. His lines, some of the things that he says, the way he's kind of dancing and silly.
I think the problem with him and his character is he doesn't fit in this movie. He would be perfect in a 90s comedy in the same role, right? This is not a comedy. This is not supposed to be a comedy. This is a thriller. It's supposed to be a thriller. And so and I think that's part of the problem with the movie as well, that, it's supposed to be a thriller. They're trying to build up suspense on this plane. And then it keeps cutting back to the comedy between Sheffer
and a table.
Sheffer, and a table,
a table and a couple of computers.
Yeah, but him and the FBI agent, they're having banter back and forth and silliness. Yeah. So what is this movie trying to do? Is it trying to make a comedy, or they're trying to be a thriller? Because it's it loses. When you're a thriller, if you're going to keep going back to losing the set, not that there was any intensity at all in this movie, but whatever they were trying to do that was intense, and then you're flipping back to comedy, you're kind of losing the feel. Once Turbulence happens in Turbulence, that's it. It's done. Now it's nonstop thriller. How are we getting out of this mess? It's going to be nonstop. Here, there's no nonstop. It's actually more stop than than go.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Another underrated performance. I do like the other pilot. He was the perfect. It's almost like they picked the most hokey guy, the villain, or Monica is kind of the one that pulls the strings for this whole thing. If you really think about it, because she's involved with the band. So she is the one that probably picked a lot of these things that were put into motion. Because it was that other guy that I don't have his name yet, but it was such a corny name. I don't know what it was, but So I was gonna say, so if Monica,
obviously was very heavily involved in this situation, how long was she working at the news station that she was able to get this job, which I'm assuming they were assuming this was going to be a huge hit. We have an exclusive. We're going to send our best reporter in there. And they send Monica, who's involved with the hijack. How long, was she there at the news station for a long time, and then she just joined this cult thing that they were trying to do, or like she kind of like the plan was already in motion when she applied for the job, right? Like because I mean, this is an exclusive, I mean, like this is supposed to be the big thing, and how did she get in there and be involved in both sides?
It's like the last question in the interview. Yeah, if it's just a formality. If you were on a plane covering a metal goth band, would you be down to help out a terrorist? Have it strike down some, I don't know, let's say a church in eastern Kansas? Very specific. No. Boom. Well, you're hired.
You know what? You also get that, and then you got to think, how big is this news station when there's only 3 employees?
That is true, dude. For them to be in that ginormous room and
it was
this
a
being
huge
a
room.
big deal, it's not like they were sneaking in and helping out after hours. This was like the thing.
Correct.
This is a big thing for your channel, and no, there's only 2 people working.
That made it like they couldn't get extras to like pretend they're on the laptop computer and just like type away. Like nothing. There was no one.
Hey Johnson, you had the cameras in check? Sure.
Nothing. And how about when the hacker meets what's her name? Karen or Susan? Who's the FBI agent?
Kate?
Okay, that was close.
Oh, dude. That's a scene that I've been thinking about and I can't stop thinking about.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So she was delivering food, correct?
Yes. So the way it started was she was told not to pursue him. She looked him up again. She got where he was, which is all right. Why wouldn't they go there? They have to, why wouldn't the person they're sending go there right away? Like this is a thing that they're, oh yeah, I really got some other errands to run. I'll go there next week. It's like, wouldn't they go be like, we know where this bad guy is, but she hears he's ordering pizza. She goes to the pizzeria, I guess, picks it up, brings it. And then the fact that he looks back, and I'm thinking like, he's a hacker. Like this guy is supposed to be like so intelligent, everything. But he goes, oh, you must be new.
Well, okay, wait. First of all, how'd you get into, he's a hacker. So you would think that he would have high-tech security,
right? Wouldn't
security because he doesn't want to get caught, right? In case like, someone shows up at the door, he has an escape plan, right? He literally had no security. She walks right in as bringing the food and he goes, all right, just leave it on the table. Like it was no surprise that this guy, again, I would think most hackers are so secretive. Like they don't want anyone to see see them. Like they're so like deep that, especially this guy who was supposed to be like the #1 hacker around, and like he's gonna just let a random person come in. Like I don't think that's like a little too loose for him.
Yeah, he can't get up from his chair to get it from Antonio, the pizza delivery boy. Like he can't do that.
Okay, so to me, this is the most ridiculous thing that happens is the fact that she starts lingering around. He's still hacking as he's talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
Then she starts asking questions. What are you doing? And he explains everything about his hacking to her.
Yeah.
A random person. Like, again, I would think a hacker would be suspicious of every single person, especially if they're asking questions.
Yeah.
And he basically spilled his guts right to the FBI agent right there.
And I love that he almost like creams his jeans because she says the phrase, oh, would you hack in the mainframe? And I'm thinking like, wouldn't that be like, that's not like a deep cut. That like, if somebody started talking about like your favorite thing and it was like very generic stuff, like, oh yeah, he threw a pass, he did this. And then a girl's like, oh yeah, it was a 44 option right. Then you're like, okay. It was a mainframe hacking. Isn't that like, okay, that's what hacking is.
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, my guess is most hackers don't have girlfriends.
Well, he's lucky that it's a good-looking FBI agent. It could have been,
Roseanne
Barr.
Could have been, but I mean, if he didn't save the day, I don't know if he would have gotten lucky at the end of the movie. So I think that was part of it. So I would think most hackers live in their parents' basement, and they don't leave the house, and most likely don't have a girlfriend. So
Kevin Smith had a good hacking place at his mom's.
See,
in Maryland.
He did.
Right?
Yeah, of course. But that's what I mean. Like that's what I picture a lot of hackers. And, so like talking about like mainframes, that excites them. That's their foreplay. You start throwing in like computer jargon, they get excited.
The fact that he didn't realize, like, oh, the new pizza delivery, she's new, right? And then like, oh, she's wearing a pantsuit. It might be if somebody delivered food to my house.
Oh my gosh,
in a pantsuit.
Okay,
I'd be like, okay, are you an assassin?
She looks nothing like. There's no way someone looked like her is delivering pizza.
No.
So as intelligent as he is, he might be the smartest, dumbest hacker that I think that you could find, because he really is super dumb. Like, the way I would only imagine, and I'm not a hacker, but every hacker has high-tech security that if someone was going to come in, think about it. He's able to hack into an airplane that's flying. He's not going to have some kind of security at home? Like nothing?
Well, he only could do it because she helped. She entered her password.
That's so stupid. In these movies...
Wait, no, you just said before that you're not a hacker. Well, is that what every hacker would say? I don't think, except him.
Well, no, he explains. He did exactly what every villain does when they have the hero. Explain the entire plan to them and then leave. Like that. So his plan was to tell this girl or delivery person his entire hacking plan so that she leaves and, never see. Like, it's just so stupid. Stupid.
God. And then this is like, just to skip over some of the stuff we kind of talked over to recap. So he starts putting on the first concert when it's still the actual Kraven, and he picks out a fan to put into the electric, to get electrocuted. What do they call it? Why can't I think of the word? What is that?
Electric chair?
That's all it is. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was something. I thought it was like deeper. Oh yeah, so electric chair,
which has been outlawed for like years, even before this. So
yeah.
But
somehow,
when
you're Slade Kraven and you have 10 million fans, you can do whatever, which isn't that many fans.
Okay,
there's 270 million people in the United States at this point, so not that many.
No, and they already like they hint. When they have the news reporters in the beginning, not to cut you off, but they have the news reporters in the beginning that are talking how controversial, Kraven is, and all this like death and whatever. They're going to allow him to bring an electric chair that seems to look like it works. Now I don't know if I think it works. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll see it work twice, right?
Well, yeah, but he was the guy seemed like he was faking it. Did he really get shocked and then fake the gunshot, or was he faking both of them?
I don't know. Well, no, he didn't get shot.
No, yeah, but he pretended to get shot. Remember, like he had the blank shot at him.
The pilot did.
No, he did too. Didn't
really? Oh, I don't remember that. I remember him getting pointed at. I remember him actually pulling the trigger at him. Because remember that guy tried to bum rush him, and then he got fought off, and that was really it. And then Slade, and then
you might be right.
Then the nod Slade went. No, okay. Oh no, the pilot.
So he faked the electric. But like, did he really get electric? And then like, because they're all into that kind
later
of stuff.
Somehow but I feel like something else happened later to that chair.
It did. Remember, because something touched the wire somehow.
Okay, that's what it was. So yeah. So it made it a real electric chair.
Right. So like what? But like knowing, like looking at the people, the fans, they seem to be into kind of pain kind of stuff.
Weird.
So I wonder. Yeah. So I wonder if like it really was working. For some, because it looked real. I don't know how you can fake a like electric chair like that. Because and I also don't know if an electric chair really works the way it like sparks and all that stuff going off. Like I don't think that really is how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably make it so it's not efficient and not be able to start the room on fire like they always showed, like that sparks flying off.
They made it like a Frankenstein. There was like a Frankenstein laboratory electric chair.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
dude. So and then Monica kisses him on the forehead. He wakes up, and so this is where Kraven leaves. Oh, you know, that's what it was. They did see each other. Remember, he's washing his hands, and he looks back, and then evil Kraven happens. But we don't see what happens. It's just like, oh, this is the switch. Okay.
Do you think evil Kraven was wearing full makeup at that point? Oh, no, we didn't see him in that scene, no. When Kraven got knocked out, we didn't see evil Kraven. Like, we didn't know. We didn't see who knocked him out.
Oh, we did? Oh, okay. I thought we saw him.
That's why. Well, then we would know that's evil Kraven when he comes back out. We didn't know it was evil Kraven until we saw the Kraven tied up.
Oh, okay. I was just guessing that there was a switch there.
You were guessing there was an evil. Oh my gosh! You really thought they were like somehow they did a switcheroo? He looked exactly like Kraven when he came back out.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. I thought in that scene we saw two guys.
Oh my gosh! Well, no,
when he was washing his hands, he looked back at nothing. I thought he looked at a guy. At a guy that looked like him.
He did, but they didn't show his face. They would have known right away at the two people. The hackers would have known right away because he saw that like someone hit someone, but they thought it was part of the act. Remember?
No, the hitting thing was the death of the security guard.
No, when they first saw this is he pointed it out to her, and she said the FBI agent said, "Isn't he known for doing things like that?" And the hacker's like, "No, but this is behind the scenes." So that
was a security guard that got killed.
No, yeah, right. Later on, but this when he saw he watched Kraven got hit. He saw Kraven get hit, but he didn't see the face.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought the only thing we saw was a security guard getting shot in the back of the head.
Well, we saw that too.
Oh, okay.
But at that point, we thought it was Kraven.
No. You know why I don't agree with that? Because do you remember what Craig Sheffer's line, Nick Watts' line was? He goes, "It's Kraven. He's moving different. He's walking weird."
He said that, but he said that later on. But he didn't know
he said that the next
switched.
time because he only sang one time.
Oh, correct. But he still didn't know that it was a switcheroo. So he didn't see if he saw the person that hit him, knocked him out, he wouldn't have said that line. He would have said, "Oh, that's not Kraven." But he said Kraven's moving weird. So he was suspicious. Why was he moving weird? But he didn't know it was a switcheroo because you don't see the person's face.
Oh, yes, so yeah. Yeah.
That was the big reveal. That was all big. That's why everybody thought Kraven was the hijacker for whatever reason.
Yeah, I guess
you know what?
So.
Go watch the movie again because I'm not.
No. No.
You know what, Egan? I know Egan will know. Egan will know.
Yeah. So the camera guy is ridiculous. When he's hitting on that, like the attractive of the two girls, like they were both. The one was like more like the silly friend, and the other girl was like the one that was because she wants to be a broadcast journalist.
You mean like the one friend that looks like she should not be in that crowd at all? Like there's no way she listens to this music. Oh, that's what I mean.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but she loves him. She almost was getting ready to faint when he was coming close.
No,
not that one. Face.
Not that one. I'm talking about the normal looking one. Like she should not have been there unless they're only there for her friend. There's no way she
really
listens to that
girl?
music.
The really excited girl?
The one.
Yeah, that's
her
true.
friend. Like she was the only one that looked the most normal on that plane.
Yeah.
There's no way she would go. And listen, if I had a friend that was like diehard into this kind of like music, and hey, listen, I want to go to this concert. Would you go with me? I'm going to say no.
Especially you're not going to go see Slade Kraven. Okay.
I'm not seeing it. And not only that, I'm not going to Toronto to see him. So even if he pays my ticket. So my guess is she's not going just for her. She's a fan, I guess, but she doesn't look like she would be there. Like she was so, I think she was typecast and wrong for that role or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
But the cameraman's line to her was, "So what are you doing when you're not attending airborne rock concerts?"
He was a tool. He was such a tool. I mean, and the fact that he makes her he tells her to do the news later on. Like this
at the end of the movie.
This is your job. You and supposedly a professional news station. You're just gonna throw a random person in there. Yeah. And doesn't it can you do that if you're not contracted to the news station or whatever, like as an employee? Can you do the news for them? I
think you can hold a microphone and talk to it. We're doing it.
But
it's not like you're asking them to be an officer of the law.
But you're reporting.
Hey, grab that gun in those cuffs and start arresting people.
They've done that. Didn't they do that? Citizens on Patrol.
Yeah, they deputized. Yeah.
So, I mean, but I don't know if a random person can deliver news that's supposed to be facts that has no screen, like no teleprompter, has nothing, and you're going to have them deliver it onto your news station? I don't think so.
Well, I think they would have had the exclusive. They were there. They're like the first news station there. So it's like now when people tweet like something out and it's like, oh, that's not the right thing. Like
this is probably this is the biggest story probably they've ever had. The crazy rock star lands a plane. So I don't think you're going to use a random person to do that story. This is like the story of the century. And you're going to have a random person who, as she's doing it, she looked extremely nervous.
Oh, yeah. She was definitely. And then we see Kraven in the background. She
oh my
carries off the rest of the movie. She that's it. Like when she does that. But so at this point, Kraven goes back. The switcheroo is about to happen. And this is, it's $10 per person to watch this. So we're up to 10 million. So 100 million $100 million for this terrible music. That's insanity.
You're telling me that there's that many fans? So based on all the fans, what they look like here, you're telling me there's that many people
that many more of you out there?
All that many? Like that's a lot. That's a lot.
What's insane is to think about like when you weren't watching him sing live, they were at his music videos. So you're really just paying like $10. It's not like it was like a variety show with other things going on. No, just when he's not singing live, you're hearing his songs recorded.
That's what I mean. Like what? Like why would anyone care that he's playing in a plane? Like pay again. The people that were there. I mean, he literally came out for one song, and then he came and then he paused. Like it, and I don't know if I would feel comfortable going into a plane with a concert. I don't like flying to begin with. Let alone, with like all the craziness that is on that plane. So
yeah.
And so this is and you okay.
No, you're good. No, I was gonna say the part we're at right now is like when Rutger Hauer and the nice normal pilot guy kind of have like a heart to heart. They talk about everything, and then hey, you better go check out that commotion. Yeah, there's a freaking concert going on, so they're
right behind you.
Commotion.
Yes. Right behind you. Yeah. So, well, I mean, again, that might be his way of knowing that they're going to kill the pilot. So that was his setup to get out there. But
how many good guy roles can you think of Rutger Hauer in? I can only think of one movie.
What movie?
Blind Fury. He's the good.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But he's like, it's very rare to see him as the good because he's so good at playing the bad guy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Nighthawks.
Blade Runner.
Nighthawks.
Yeah.
Blade Runner, Nighthawks. It's funny. I actually looked up Blind Fury just a week ago because I'm like, you know what? I forget why Rutger Hauer came up in my mind. It was before I even knew he was in this movie. And I looked it up and like, I remember a movie that was like Daredevil. Like it was basically like a ripoff of Daredevil.
Yeah. That is true.
And like, yeah, the movie, I mean, except he's a swords guy, right? He's into swords or something like that.
Swords, yeah.
That's
ridiculous.
But yeah, Rutger Hauer's the best. Yeah, I don't think he plays a good guy. So, and even here, I mean, obviously he's a bad guy. So, I mean, yeah, he's like the Michael Madsen. Like how often do you see Michael Madsen play a good guy? Outside of playing a father recently in a movie.
And Free Willy.
Yeah. Outside of that. Yeah. I mean, I think about it. Like Free Willy is such a family entertainment kind of movie. This is a guy that cut a guy's ear off on like and dancing with it. Like how do you talk about range? You're a single dad family man, but in the next movie you're cutting ears off and singing into it.
I would like that to be the same movie. A guy that really has those like very like hallmarky family moments, and then he's like, "Hey, I gotta go pick this up at the store," and then he's like, "We cut to the store, and he's beating the shit out of the guy behind it near a dumpster."
That was the movie that just came out with what's his name, Channing Tatum, when he's what was it called, Trapped? When he's like some kind of like
Josh? No, that wasn't Channing Tatum. It was the guy Josh Hartnett.
No,
Josh Shyamalan movie.
Yeah. Well, he played. He was a fan. Well, the movie's okay. It's nothing great, It's another movie where you have to watch about two music videos because that's his niece, I think, is singing in the movie, like is the main star. So you have to watch her sing twice. Yeah, the movie's okay. But he plays a family man. He's bringing his daughter to this concert. He's nice, but he's also killed about 15 people. So,
nice.
Yeah. So,
that's the list. So now he has the gun out and he's like pointing at people, puts on that gun, the one girl's face. It's like really weird. And he says to the one girl, like, "Are you prepared to die?"
Well,
and it's just
his music, his whole vibe. They said that he does like sacrifices and all this kind of stuff. So like he's into that crap. And listen, if you're going to listen to something like that, you're probably going to be into that stuff too, right? You love his concerts and what he does. So, so I think that excited them all. I think she got excited from it, and I would say the only thing I did like, is I mean, I'm trying to find something, but when he pulls the trigger on the pilot and it's a blank. And then and the guy jumps back and he sweat. He's like, oh, and then he shoots him. Like, so he made him feel safe. He made him feel safe for a second, and then he shoots him right after. I mean, that little suspense right there. But you mentioned this before. You had the electric chair guy jump on him at one of these like close around here. How come no one else jumped in? You have one guy, one terrorist,
two chicken shit. But he took him down. One person gets on him. Oh, we're done. Nope.
I mean, okay, you're talking about the group of people that are on this plane. When like these songs pretty much go on, they're doing moshes. They're throwing each other around. They're punching. They're doing like So why don't they just like mosh on this guy?
It's a great point by you. They were just sitting there listening to him play. Like that first song, they were very calm.
Oh, this is the type that throws around. Like they get crazy.
You're right? But they should have been. That's what I mean. That was not good for them to cast people that weren't moving. They were just like, it was almost like they were at a Dead show.
100%. Like they were way too calm for the type of music that they were listening to. And that's what I mean. Like, so this is the type of people that you would think would attack. I mean, again, you have one, even if you're not a physical person, you have one terrorist that alone, you haven't seen anyone else yet. He's got a gun. Right now, someone has his arms tied. Like he's holding them. No one has the nuts to get up there and like help. Like they all sat there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
So back to Rucker Hauer in the cockpit. Do all planes have a CD player?
Oh, dude. Yes. And you know what song he put on? He put on it was the song from Die Hard, right? Dun, dun. It had the beginning sound of the
yes.
Yeah, I hope they don't have a CD player because obviously those guys can obviously bring something else in. But
I'm gonna guess they don't
outwardly have put the CD player. Oh my God.
I'm gonna guess they're not even allowed to have music because you don't want to get distracted. No, correct. So, but the fact that it's like not even a portable CD, it was attached to the wall, like part of the buttons to fly the plane, and he put a CD in there. It's so ridiculous. There's no way there's a CD player in a plane.
I would have laughed my ass off if it was like an 8-track. Right in the front.
Now, do you think it was a Die Hard throwback?
I don't know.
Because at this point,
it got crazier right after that. So I don't know. Something to like let you know, like that trigger of like, oh, this is a song that I associate with like a great movie with action.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It didn't work.
But, so again, when I said before how it has like again, not that anything here is suspenseful, but it tries to have the suspense and then the comedy with the hacker. How about the scene when you had the two news people, and he's drinking his latte and he has cream all over his face and he's talking to the girl. He's whipped cream all over his...
No, but do you remember what he says?
No.
So there's two of them, one for her, one for him. And she obviously doesn't like him. He drinks the one, gets the cream on his face, and he goes, this must be mine. And grabbed the other one. So he germed her out. and then just like took the other one.
So stupid. Like, I mean, like, again, why have this banter? Like, they shouldn't be showing them at all at this point.
It was weird that they had all these little sections, and at the same time, like Kate cuffed Craig at this point, like already. But yeah, it's funny. It's like these 4 mini movies that were getting filmed.
It really was like, and again, what kind of movie is it trying to be? Like, because Turbulence is supposed to be a thriller. It's a thriller, right? I mean, like, that's what it's supposed to be. And, you know, and I just feel like there was so much, like, if you take out the music video that we watched, and then you take out all the hacking stuff, and you take out the news people stuff, you literally have maybe 10 minutes of thriller, you know, like, I mean, really, like, because it was just like, I don't know, like, what kind of movie were they making? Like, I don't, you know, that's a question I have.
Yeah, and I don't think they know. But the fact that right away, like, the fee gets cut, and this is like right around the time that Kate calls Joe Mantegna and lets him know, like, and he's like, well, a concert on a plane, what is this? And then that's the thing he focuses on. And then that's Inspector, which is hacking, named Nick Watts. He says, uncuff me and I can get the feedback. And this is like the first time it's like, she's like, all right, I'll be impressed. So she loves hacking this much, and he proves all these little things for her, and then at the end he gets rewarded.
Oh, he does get rewarded, but she hangs up on Mantegna, I think 2 or 3 times in this movie. This is her boss, and she hangs up on him 3 times. Like I said earlier, like, she doesn't care about her career. Like, she's putting her entire career into this hacking situation.
I know. If it didn't work out, like the end scene, let's say if like plane crashes, is she shooting him? Like the only reason he's like, does she really like him? Like, what really is going on?
Well, I think she is. I mean, she does.
I think so, but for that to change that quick, so I kind of like you. I kind of like you, and then it's like, all right, if you do this right, I really like you. If you crash that plane, I'm gonna hate you.
So, but then how did she explain why he's not getting arrested to Joe Mantegna?
That's a great. How does that work?
Is she like giving up her FBI, you know, career and now like just hacking with him?
Or she just wanted to get laid? Oh, sorry, Nick, you're arrested. You're going away for 5 years. Thank you.
So ridiculous. Okay.
So Monica, at this point, she has a gun to her, like Kraven has the gun to her, and you're like, holy shit, like, what is happening here? Yeah. And the scene I kind of mentioned it before, but like our buddy Brad Lorry, him as the FAA tower, Joe Mantegna calls and says, or the other guy calls, oh, is everything normal there? We think there might be a threat. And just the fact that he's like, no, everything's normal here. And then you see like the helicopter shot of boom, 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 boom. And all the ground explodes around it. And you're like, holy shit. Like,
what? So what, that was, who did that? The terrorists? Like the guys, like they set that up? The explosions?
Yes, but like, they never mentioned how or who helped out with that. They don't explain
nothing. Nothing. So what was the point of exploiting that? Like, what were they exploding that for?
Exactly. You know what? I didn't even think about that until you just mentioned that. But yeah, if there was more of an operation, but it was 3 people involved. It wasn't like, hey, it wasn't like at one point if there was communication, which I don't know why they don't do this in a lot of movies, like an easy out. You can just have like Rutger Hauer or have the evil Kraven like on the phone with somebody, be like, oh, Venezuelan terrorists, something like that. And then I was like, oh, great. We know how that happened on the ground. But no, we don't. It was just like a random explosion who did that? Did Monica do that?
And why'd they do it? And nothing. No. They were just, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And, you know, knowing that there's no pilot and you have someone that really would no way would be able to land a plane, you see this a lot in movies. Most likely, the military probably would have gotten involved and maybe shot the plane down because, I mean, or that'd be a question, like, do we shoot it down so it doesn't crash into, like, say, a building and kill more than? Because I mean, not that it's okay to take a life for a life, but there's only 24 people on this plane, you know, like, so the damage and I mean, look what they all look like, you know, you're really not much of a loss I mean, you got Kraven fans. I mean, so let's see. We can lose 24 Kraven fans and Kraven himself, who's retiring anyway, or we crash into a building and kill 2,000 people. So that wasn't even an option. Like, they were banking on him landing the plane. Like, there was nothing like to back it up, that just in case it doesn't work and he crashes somewhere. Like they didn't, nothing. Like, they weren't worried that he's going to crash and kill on the civilians.
I guess it was like, this is our only chance. Or is there a guy out there named Spectre who's a hacker that has a flight simulator like joystick that can plug into that was insane.
Oh, okay. I mean, you know what? Just because I could play, so you're telling me I play Call of Duty, you could throw me into, and I capture bad guys all the time in Call of Duty. You throw me in the military in the middle of war, I should be able to handle myself and right? I mean,
just because other kids were playing Pac-Man and so, I was playing Flight Simulator. It's like, okay.
Listen, you know what? I've played Pitfall for a long time. I can swing on vines like nobody's business, So I mean, it's so stupid. I mean, really, and there was no other. They had to wait for a pilot to get there. There was no one else. Like, I mean, look at Airplane, the movie Airplane. They had tons of people in that.
Yeah.
Here was nobody. That's it. They had nobody. They had to wait for the pilot to get there. Okay. And how about the fact that the hackers yelling at Kraven, lift up, and he kept saying that, and he just kept saying lift up. That was like, that's how you control the plane.
Put your feet,
lift
come on,
up.
you're really gonna put your feet in the ground. Like, yelling at him to do it, but so right now this is like the pilot's dead. There's chaos going on. Rucker gets a call from the tower, and then he just starts breaking stuff. Like, he pulled something that started smoking. Like, I don't know what that was, but it was like, just it was almost looked like it could be like the external like CD player, but he breaks that. All of that's happening at the same time. This is when they had a hunch that it wasn't Kraven, and they did the voice analysis. Oh, did your computer have voice analysis? And I was like, oh, boop, 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 boop. And they mix it all together, and it was like, oh, that's the bad guy, and his name is Simon Flanders. That's his name.
Oh my gosh.
And then her flirting thing that I think turned her on when she said, do you have a voice analysis program? He said, yeah, it's in the X file. And she said, of course it is.
Oh my gosh. So ridiculous. I feel like they use Simon a lot in movies as a bad guy.
Well, what's funny is just thinking about the other sequels we covered. I think it's actually on my mug my wife got me. The Under Siege 2. His name was Simon. Simon Says from
what was
Stallone.
It? Was there a Simon in
Wesley
Die Hard?
Snipes?
Die Hard 3? Was he Simon? No.
Simon? I don't know.
I feel like there's a bunch of Simon. Like, first of all, Simon doesn't sound like a tough name, so I'm surprised they use it for so many villains.
Who was the most famous Simon? Oh no,
Paul Simon.
Simon from no, Simon from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Who's Simon?
Tall, skinny, glasses.
Wait, the guy that owns them? His name is Simon?
No, Alvin Simon Theodore.
Oh. Okay. Well, I would say Simon fits a hamster or whatever they. What are they? Are they hamsters? What are they? Oh, chipmunks. The chipmunks. You forgot
That's
too.
Amazing.
See?
I did, because once you asked that, I'm like, are they squirrels? Are they squirrels?
They could fit. Yeah, I can see that. But Simon's not a tough name to begin with. But Flanders, so Simon Flanders. He sounds like an accountant. Like, he should be an accountant. Like, if you, that's who it should. Oh, I mean, no offense.
A real accountant slam.
Yeah.
But how about this computer? Like, again, just the way technology and the way they depict it. When the voice analysis program was going on, it was like, and it said, sample does not match. And it's like, all right. So now we know we got this going on. And did you notice Simon's rap sheet? It had like all the crimes he committed. And then on the bottom, it said other notes, and it said numerous arsons and murders. Oh my God.
Ridiculous.
And then what happens from there? This is where we find out the ridiculous story that it's like, if this wasn't in it, the movie would make more, not only it would make it better, but just the fact that the plane has to land in the Eastern, it's crazy. But the fact that like from that they're like, oh, he has this website. It's like this satanic website that looked crazy ridiculous.
Oh,
It was, and they're reading the thing. It was like there was like a lot of big words on the screen. It was like they're reading. They're like, in East Kansas, there's the 7th layer of hell.
Oh, it's so. Was he the leader of this cult or whatever? Are there only 3 members of the cult?
That's a great question. They didn't talk about any of that. They just talked about like it's just them 3 to this goal, but nothing else.
And the crazy thing is, they're 3 completely different types of people.
Oh my God! Yeah, old man, goth,
yeah,
hot model.
Yeah, there's no way like that mixture doesn't make sense for this cause. Whatever they're doing. But I was gonna say with back at the hacking. Do you notice like every movie or anything you see a hacker, they just like their hands are just typing away like it's like they're typing
dude, the one thing when he goes in, he just hits on the keyboard HU HU HU.
Well, that's how good he is. He doesn't have to go crazy.
How can we break into the system? Let me do this. And it throws off the computer. No. But is that dumb? Or again, you just mentioned accountants before. Was when they finally connect, when they Spectre and Kate, when they connect into not the cockpit, but whatever the security room, like jail that he's being held in, and they talk to the Slade. They want to confirm who he is. He talks about income tax. Oh no, that's Joe Mantegna, right? Joe Mantegna talks to him first.
Yes. So can the FBI look it up in like 2 seconds? I just
probably
think so.
I think they would have access. I can call the IRS and get information. So I'm sure that Joe Mantegna can call. But the fact that he's like, he's got it. Yeah, he's right. And it's like, what? How does he know that? That's what I mean. The amount of taxes he said, I forgot what it was, like 196,000. It was like a crazy number, even more maybe. It's like, why would he know that? You're not, like if you're not making a ton of money like a normal person, you know how much taxes you paid. But if you're paying that much, really, you're making like millions of dollars or whatever. It's ridiculous.
No, it's so stupid. I mean, I'm trying to think of what's the worst plot line, the main plot of what they're trying to do, or just the fact that they're the plot of having a band on a plane. Like they're just too dumb.
Yeah, like, the plane, the band on the plane thing to me just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense.
Hey, but neither does the church in Kansas. But like I just don't think about like you have 2 movies, and I don't know how successful the second one was. I don't know if it was in the theaters or not. But like you want to make a third one, and like you got to imagine other plots got turned down. So like, can you like what? How bad do those plots have to be that this is the plot that they went with?
Yeah. They like what could be worse than this?
What could be worse?
It's hard for me to come up with a worse plot for a movie. I don't think I could. A band on a plane putting on a concert
and crashing into a church in Eastern Kansas. Like such a random thing. Like
it was like they did Mad Libs. They were doing Mad Libs or something.
That's what it sounded.
Tell me the dumbest plot a movie has. Okay, all right. Now tell me what would be the dumbest place to visit.
You know what? It's either that or they had like 3 different boxes with like items and said, all right, pick from this box first. All right, we have a band on a plane. All right, the next one, what state? And all the states in there, Kansas. Okay, and then in this one, a church. Okay, perfect. Like it just like it was it's just such 3 random things as your plot. Like again, what other idea? Because there's no way this was the first idea, right? There's no way that they went to the writers and said, "Hey, this is our idea. Sounds great. Let's do it." They got to come up with a couple of plots. I want to know what missed. Like what missed the point? Or do you think the people with the other plots were like, "Shoo! Thank goodness they didn't take ours."
Yeah. One thing that another one of those, like I thought we were gonna get like the Captain Kirk and Captain Kirk double kind of thing. Another thing that made no sense, they zoomed in like when he was talking, remember Joe Mantegna was talking to both Cravens, the good and the bad, and they showed the girl like toggle the switch.
Yep.
They zoomed in on her hand to make you think that they were going to do a fuck up, but it never happened. There was no mess up. It would have been like she switches back and he's talking to the fake Craven and he goes, okay, you're right. Confirmed your taxes match. I'm like, what'd you say? And then he runs back to find him. But no, none of that happened. It was just like, we're going to zoom in this thing for no reason. No, we don't need anything.
Well, they did a lot of zooming in. Like I said, in the beginning of the movie, they were zooming inside their mouths when they were talking. So they like the zooming in stuff and just for no reason. Like some random reasons. But I think you're 100% correct. I think, you had a lot of, or you tried to have a lot of comedy in this movie between the two news people and the hackers. Why not do the Scooby-Doo, two Cravens and, let them pick which one, they think is, have a sing-off or something, like just something like something.
Oh my God, like, more music? Yeah, that was your idea? That's worse than the plane idea.
What? I don't know. You know what? I almost would rather hear the singing than seeing some of the acting that was going on. So I don't know. But I think you're right. Like that, we already had comedy in here, so why not, add that to it, add the mix in, like, or they kill the wrong Craven, something like that. Like now you got suspense,
maybe,
right? You just,
like
something like you add something. No, like I feel like they missed it. They missed the mark. That would have been added a little something to it.
Yeah. How about when Craig Sheffer talks to him for the first time?
Okay.
He's like fanning out and so sad. I've been a fan ever since your first.
And you're talking about, you're in the middle of disaster, but he could take his time to talk about how much of a fan he was. And he says it multiple times before you get to the, like, this guy literally is on a plane with a terrorist. He was like tied up in a back room. You think he wants to talk about how, how much you love his music and how much you're a fan? Like, like that's the last thing he wants to talk about right now.
Get me out of here. I want to survive. And then Mantegna, one of his lines, like when he's going back and forth with the good, the bad Craven, he goes back to the bad Craven and he turns into like a negotiator and he goes, so we're going to land the plane and everyone goes home safe. And I'm like, what? You were waiting for like some kind of like, what they want and meet in the middle. And he goes with that. What's that going to do?
And what's your backup? What's your backup plan?
Yeah.
They didn't discuss any backup plan whatsoever.
No, they had no idea
literally
at all.
No, they were banking. They literally put all their money on the one situation. Like, there wasn't like, all right, listen, if this doesn't work, we got to find something else. We got to figure, maybe bring another plane up there or whatever. I don't know. I mean, like something, nothing. There was no backup. They didn't try anything else. They're like, and they didn't want to get involved. They're like, you know what? The hackers seems to have a good rapport. Let's just keep him doing it. Seriously?
Oh my God. Like, how about when that guy says that? Like, Mantegna doesn't want him to help. But when they hired a friggin' actor to be in this movie to utter lines like, nothing I can do. They have a rapport. He trusts
and they
him.
Brought him there for a reason. Why'd you even bring him there? What's
so stupid? I was thinking he was going to get involved or something. All he said was like, you got to make sure he pulls up. You got to pull up now. And then he's like, they're doing good.
That's both airplane movies, right? They bring on the specialist to help them, bring the plane down. No, they bring him on there. Oh, I can't do anything. Like that was their plan. So their backup plan. Okay, so that's their backup plan. Their backup plan was to bring a pilot on to help them land a plane, but the pilot couldn't do anything about it. Really? Yeah. Like that's which pilot is this? This guy. The guy's probably like, he's probably just like a stewardess or something, and like he's
like hungover from the bar. It's the middle of the night, and he's like, oh yeah, they're fine. They're cool.
It made no sense. Like, why even? Like, it was almost filler. It was filler. He did nothing to the movie.
I think a lot of it. There was a lot of things that would happen in this movie, but so again, a legit twist in this movie is when Monica is revealed to be a bad guy. Like, I wouldn't have thought that. Like, when I talked to Monica, I mentioned this to her. She wasn't really too fond of this movie. Like, we didn't talk too much about it. And I can see why. Like, maybe she didn't want to be in a movie that she's pointing guns at people, or looking back that like this was like the year of 9/11 before it. But like, just the insanity of that scene when she gets the gun. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is something, man.
Watching this movie and seeing Monica, I mean, obviously she's beautiful. And I don't think again, and not because we interviewed her, but I don't think she did a bit. I think she played her role well. I'm surprised she wasn't in much bigger like parts and movies, because I think she could have done it. Like, she has the look, and I think she did a good job. I mean, there's plenty of people in Hollywood that have bigger roles that are, not as good. I think she could have done. I'm surprised. I feel like she could have done a much bigger. Because I think she was good.
She was in Beastmaster, which is cool because she was with our buddy Margene Holden, which is cool that they both starred in that show and they were around. So when this movie came out,
there was a Beastmaster show.
Yeah, they were both on it. 44 episodes. It filmed in Australia, and so they were in. We were talking about 9/11 when I was interviewing Monica, and she was in. Margene called her and said, "Oh my God, did you hear what happened?" Which is wild. Like just the crazy. Was the show, in a movie about a plane? Huh?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll say was the movie the show based on the movie Beastmaster, or was it?
Yeah. No, it was cool. I remember it was on Sci-Fi Channel or Channel 9. It was on one of those, but yeah, I remember watching it.
We may have to try to get Beastmaster 2. I think there's a sequel to it.
Oh, dude, isn't it? Yes. Oh. No, I can reach out to Stanley Livingston's brother. We did Stanley from My Three Sons. Barry was in the sequel. He was in Beastmaster 2.
Well, I don't remember the movie. That's the guy that could control animals.
He worked at the video store. He worked at the electronics store in the sequel. That was the time portal.
Is it the same guy from the first one that controls beasts? Or is
Beastmaster is the same guy.
Oh, again, I don't remember the movie. I don't even know if I even saw the whole thing, but he controls animals, right? Like, that's the whole thing?
Yeah. Not to go too much on a tangent. Remember when we almost covered the movie that was like the TV movie, and I interviewed a guy that worked on it?
You're right.
Because Patrick killed Patrick, and like there was like a ton of people in that TV like movie that NBC did, and it just failed, and they scrapped it. But
okay, we'll work on that one. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But you were saying before, like, working on a movie about an airplane.
Oh yeah, and having this happen, like, that's got to be like, oh my God, dude, like dealing with like terrorists, and so maybe that's like we're looking back on it. So yeah, but
this movie came out the same year as 9/11?
Same year. This came out before 9/11, because this probably wouldn't have came out. This wouldn't have came out if it came out.
No,
after,
of course. But I'm assuming this was direct to DVD.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the second one got in the movie theater with Tom Berenger. I can maybe see that get some release, but maybe not.
He's made a lot of B movies. I mean,
no, I know, but I'm saying, like, back in the day, more movies went into the movie theater. Like, you see those memes that people share online.
Yeah,
or the photos of like the marquees. It's like, wow, 5 really great movies were in the theaters at the same time, like the same week coming out. But maybe.
I'd be curious if there were other airplane movies, like say, like for instance, I know, say Passenger 57 and all those, like, were they all around the same time? Like, I wonder if they all came out around the same time.
Well, that all, and Turbulence, that was like that buzz of the mid-90s. All those came out.
Well, in the 90s, they had so many dual movies. You had Armageddon and what was the other one?
Deep Impact.
Deep Impact. Then you had Volcano and Dante's Peak.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they had so many, and they all literally came out the same year, like every single time. Like, it was, So, all right. Although I don't think this movie was competing with anything.
No. I just think there was just so much going on, and it was just like, let's try to be in with like some kind of sub music genre that not many people. Let's say I don't enjoy some type of metal or goth metal, but it's just I don't know. It's silly, but so this is the part where Rucker and Monica have a weird scene, and he kisses her like on the cheek, and it was really weird. No, this is when he plays music too. So the Dyer music was earlier, and this is where he plays music again, and it's like,
again, his whole role doesn't make sense. Like what he was doing, sitting alone, listening to music. Like, I mean, like, was he waiting for someone to come in? Like, first of all, how did Kraven even get into the cockpit? Like, I don't think a random person could open the door. I'm assuming it's locked.
Oh yeah, I don't think
So. How did he get in? How did he get in there?
I don't know.
Okay. So he just walks
For
right
a
in.
747 plane, maybe when there's bands on board, they take off that extra lock or something. I don't know.
I would think you would need an extra lock with
You
knowing the
triple it,
fans,
yeah.
the fans that are coming on there. I mean, really,
Yeah.
like, you know, but like Rutger Hauer's whole role doesn't make sense. Like sitting alone, you know, where he was with Monica, and then killing himself. Like, what was he doing? Like, it just doesn't, like, why was he sitting there just listening to music? Like, that was his goodbye to himself. Like, was he planning on doing it? Like, if Kraven didn't walk in there, was he still going to land the plane? Like,
yeah, it was definitely a big miss. Like that whole with his character just made no sense. Especially that he came out and like saw Monica and they had like this moment, and it was just, even though like looking back, obviously we knew that he was getting really weird because he said he was basically telling her to like handle this,
right,
or it's yours now, which is just dumb that he had to go sit in that spot and shoot himself. I don't know.
But again, and we said it from the beginning, the plot was to land in Kansas or crash in Kansas, and he's killing himself before he gets there. Yeah. So what? Like you hired the wrong cult guy. I mean, that's like, literally. I mean, so that was poor choice. unless the evil Kraven can land the plane.
No, see, that would have been something. If the evil Kraven can fly,
but he's dead, right? Did he die earlier?
Well, he's not dead just yet. This is where Kraven beat him up, and then he's on his own because he has the earpiece now. So they ask him, like, well, what are you going to do when you get out there? And he's like, improvise, I guess. And then him and Monica beats the crap out of him. And then she just so happens to get kicked into the electric chair. And then that somehow gets juiced up. And that's how she dies.
So
she gets electrocuted in this movie.
She does. But like, so dumb.
It was corny.
Like, again, very corny.
For her to go out like that. And then we didn't mention before, like, the evil Kraven shot one of the bandmates. Then we had like kind of a touching scene, but do you remember how it ended? So he puts his hand on the guy's eyes and does the old like to better days and like closes his eyelids. And then it cuts to do the hustle. There was a line of like, let's do the hustle was the line in the next song. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Wait, it was the real song, Do the Hustle?
No, not the song. He said that. He said the line, let's do the hustle.
He does?
He was saying to Craig Sheffer, let's do the hustle.
Oh my gosh. Awful. So, like, the lines in here are just like add to it. Like, what a corny line. Like, there before, who was it? One of them said, you know, he just whacked somebody. First of all, no one says whack unless you're in the mafia. And I think she said, or no, the hacker said it to her when he saw like someone get hit before, or the pilot. He said, whack. He says something about whacking. Again, no one uses that term. So like, I feel like the lines in this movie were just like, don't fit either. You know, they're just corny. They don't fit. They improvise. Then it just, I don't know.
One thing that was a big miss, like if you need to land a plane and you're not a pilot, there must have been an intercom, right? What if one of those guys is in the military or had their pilot's license? Like, no one tried for that. It was like, hey, dude, it's you, Kraven. Maybe because Craig Sheffer's a nut and they said to do that. And he's like, no. I already checked. None of those people can fly. I checked the manifest.
But
Kraven,
you're right.
I want to talk to
get on the speaker. Do we have any pilots on the plane? Do we have any doctors? I mean, yeah, you're right. And I don't remember, where did they land? Did they land at an airport?
Kansas City.
Oh, so he was able to fly. So not only was able to land the plane, he was able to fly to an airport.
Yeah.
Control it.
He nailed it.
Control it to get to an airport. Like, what GPS was he looking at to get to an airport?
Well, he didn't. What's his name was doing it for him. He did the piece. He was using the plane controller to help. And then also he was able to have like he transmitted like the GPS, and then it went into autopilot.
It sounds so ridiculous as you explain it even more.
Oh,
like it's like
I can't even explain it.
Oh my gosh! Oh, it's so stupid. It really like I wish we could find the other plots that were mentioned, because I really like this. This sounds like it could be like a college film. Like one of the college film short that you had to do for a project for school. Like this kind of plot. That would be a plot for that, not for like a movie. Like I'd be curious to see how much it made, because it's ridiculous.
I don't know. But so how about when he's starting to like fly the plane, everything's fine, he gets to the autopilot and they're like kind of happy. Like I think Kate calls like Joe Montana, and then it was like everything was fine. And then that's when evil Kraven shows up. They have like a little fight, and like he gets thrown down the stairs and they fight down there until he knocks him out the fire extinguisher. But in that time, everybody's like, yeah, this is fine. And then the plane just starts taking a nosedive, and then he has to run and catch back up. But he doesn't make mention of it, even though I'm sure they saw it on the cameras, which they didn't let us know. Like, it's not like Sheffer and Kate were like, oh my God, they're fighting down the stairs. Oh my God. They were really just like, hey, what's going on? It was almost like they were shocked that the plane was taking a nosedive. They would not see that he wasn't there.
Of course. And I don't remember, was anyone back to their seats at this point, or are they still in that big area?
Oh no, they were in their seats, I think, at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say that anyone. So this is the only turbulence that they had in the movie. Which, again, not real turbulence, just flying. Not knowing how to fly. So you see this? You saw this in an airplane. You saw this. Like, does the pilot's, I guess, steering wheel thing? Does it really like lift up like that, like, and move around like the way like they always seem so loose.
Which is very frightening. Oh my God! In military movies, they're just moving around like, really.
I just so I wonder, like, I mean, if any pilots listening, I want to know, like, is it like that, or is it like way more sturdy looking, and like it just feels like it's just weird. Like it would be an easier way. They should have developed an easier way to do it. If that's
let us know at Sequels Only on Twitter, or you'd shoot us an email, Doug@sequelsonly.com. Yeah, that'd be interesting to find. I don't remember Fred talking about that when I talked to Hollywood stunt pilot. I don't remember too much about like that. But there are so many times in movies you see it move. I just think about like sneezing. Like, like you sneeze and it's like, oh my God, how'd you crash your plane today? I sneezed.
Yeah.
It was a bad one.
I got it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good question.
How quick did it escalate too? Like, again, I know the flying felt so long, and it definitely was. But then out of nowhere, it was just like, because that's when Kate was like, I'm going to side with him. He can do this, which you talked about before. And then Joe Montana brought in that guy that said, oh, he's actually doing fine. They have a good rapport. And out of nowhere, it was like, okay, we have 2 minutes. It like went from taking forever to, okay, guys, we got 2 minutes to land. And
they knew the movie was ending, so they had to move it fast.
But,
in reality, I would assume someone like Kraven would never be able to be this calm during this whole situation. Like he seemed pretty calm.
Very calm.
I mean, for the whole this is a guy who is a stage guy. Unless he's like really nerdy without all the makeup and but he seemed like like this his kind of character was like against the man, against like you killing and like all like anger and all that, and then like he's able to calm himself down and land the plane and take out terrorists. And say like there's no way. That he wouldn't be panicking. So
yeah, he was way too calm. Like when he was talking to him and like, oh, I'm such a huge fan of yours. He's like, oh, thank you.
Just put yourself there. Like you're controlling the lives of 25 people right now, and it's up to you.
25 people
it's
in
up
the
to you
biggest plane ever.
Right. Which I would guess like it's the same as like you ever drive a truck. I mean, I would think I would have a hard time driving one of those 16-wheelers. 18-wheelers, whatever. It wouldn't be easy to drive, right? If you've never driven one before. So now you're talking about a huge plane, never flying a plane before, and now you're flying this huge thing, and you have the life of 25 people in your hands, whether you're going to kill them or not. You're not going to be a little nervous, like even in Airplane, and in the movie Airplane, Robert Hayes, friend of the podcast, was sweating bullets, and he's a pilot.
Yeah.
And he's a pilot. So yeah, okay.
One line that I forgot was when after he beats the crap out of the fake Slade and he's able to knock him out and goes back and he starts talking to Craig Sheffer and Craig's like, hey, where were you? And he's like, sorry, Nicholas, it won't happen again. Like very serious.
Yeah.
And Slade asked God for help to land the plane, and
which made no sense either.
No, I know.
I mean, this is a demo.
Well, the whole thing was that they wanted him to die because they wanted to kill a false prophet. I guess a false prophet of Satan.
I don't know, because again, but even so, someone who's listen. I'm a person of God. I'm Christian, and so I can't imagine anyone singing satanic songs like he is with sacrifices and killing people, and then asking God for help later on. Like I don't think you can have it both ways. I don't think you can push murder and sacrifice and then but God, forget all that. I need help now. I don't think you'd be a believer. So
yeah, that
made no sense unless he's just really putting on a big act. And he's really like a nice guy at home, and like I said, really nerdy, and he's not the Kraven. It could be like an Andrew Dice Clay thing, right? Like my mom worked at a nursing home, and she worked like an entertainment department area, and she was talking to this lady who was there with her mother, and the woman was probably like in her 70s that she was talking to, and the woman just goes to my mom and she goes, "Do you know Andrew Dice Clay?" And my mom's like, "Yeah, he's a filthy comedian. I can't stand him." And the woman's like, that's my nephew. And she goes, and she said that he's not really like that. Like he really is a nice guy. It's like, it's an actor.
I would hope so, because I would think thered be something wrong with him. Like even the videos he's posting now, he's like, hey, you that guy, you. It's like, whoa.
But I guess the difference is like, say, Bobcat Goldthwait, right? Like, he has that persona, or even Sam Kinison. Like, can you imagine like Sam Kinison has like the softest voice when he's at home?
And
he's screaming, he's screaming everywhere. So, anyway, big tangent, but like, although, what, he did seem like the way he was talking the rest of the movie, like he was like a regular guy, not the Kraven that came on and started singing and wearing metal shin guards.
He was over it. He was very over this band. He's just like, I just want to get I go to get my makeup remover and go to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. So they land the plane. It lands fine. Nick mushes Kate's face, and Nick's line was, "Slade, you are the dude, baby."
So bad.
But if this happened, it's funny. I could share my notes with you later. I wrote that was pretty nuts if this really happened in reality. And I wrote, like if Marilyn Manson landed a plane. That's it.
You know what though? I've heard him in interviews. I could see him like I don't know. He seems the type that probably wouldn't get nervous either.
Yeah.
He just like, listen, he's like, listen, I'm probably gonna die soon anyway, so you know what? I'll try it anyway. Kind of thing. I don't know.
And then we get the best twist of the movie, because Kate obviously was attractive. They did that like glow up of the 80s, like take glasses off, put hair down. Oh, she looks so different. But I love it. He's like, so you want to go get dinner? And she's like, dinner? And she puts the cuffs back on him. And then she starts walking away, and he starts following her. And then she has her glass. Yeah, she starts following.
No, he's in a chair. He's in a chair. He's handcuffed.
He gets up and stands because he follows her out of the thing. Because she says, "I thought you were hungry," and he starts jogging after her.
Oh, well, after she said that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, in the beginning though, he thought he was getting arrested. So yeah, that
right.
I
know, yeah.
It definitely was the biggest twist, because I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either, and he probably didn't see himself coming.
Whoa.
But when she says the line, "I thought you were hungry," it was like, whoa, that's what we're doing right now. And then the very end of the movie is the part we talked about earlier, when it was like that college girl And the older cameraman was like, come on, this is your chance. This is your opportunity.
See, now here's where, if you wanted to make a big impact, this is what should have happened.
Nope.
I just thought of it.
Slade is alive.
Well,
others. Evil Slade. Evil Slade.
Slade is dead. And at the end, you see Slade take off his wig. The evil Slade.
Oh.
And he switched somehow. And then, because, I mean, at this point, nothing in this movie made sense. I mean, so no one would question, how did he do the switch? It wouldn't matter at that point. Like, the movie's over, you know, he takes the wig off and, you know, mission accomplished somewhat.
Wow.
Slade is dead. So that would have added a little M. Night Shyamalan in there.
Yeah, that would have been pretty good. That would have been good.
See? Okay.
But they didn't go that route. They went with a girl doing the news report, which, again, the best part about it was she had no microphone. So they wouldn't have heard her. It would have been like, no.
So dumb. So dumb. It really, like this, would you rank this in the top 10 worst movies we've covered?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. And again, I wish there was so many that we've covered and it's like, I don't really like it, but there's a redeeming quality. This just isn't one of them. Like, there's nothing, just, yeah.
What's the Rotten Tomato?
I would like. What is it?
I'm looking up right now. 22. So
22%. Wow.
That's, I mean, and we've covered movies that were better, that were high, like lower. Like, how can this be 22%? How bizarre is that?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Like, I'm the first comment on there. It says it's like watching a car crash if the cars were filled with clowns. What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? Oh man.
Oh man. Well, that is Turbulence 3. I think we know how Jamie feels about it. I don't know what else. Like, is there any plane movies that you really do enjoy? Like, do you enjoy Turbulence? Or
I've liked almost every plane movie. So Turbulence, Red Eye, Air Force One, Executive Decision, Airplane.
Yeah.
You know, I've enjoyed Airplane 2. I mean, but this movie, like, even like I just watched one recently where the mom is like a vampire or something like that, and like there's like
on a plane.
Again, oh yeah, I got to get the name of it. I watched it. So she's on the plane with her like daughter, and the terrorists come over, and she's like, it comes out, her vampire comes out, and like something like I think she's a vampire, and she comes out and starts going after. I'm telling you,
the vampire.
No, I got to find the movie. I watched it. It was it was pretty good. But yes, like, I mean, the only one I haven't seen was Snakes on a Plane. I never saw it.
I've never seen that either.
Okay.
I've seen clips and stuff, but yeah.
But you know what though? I would take that over this. Like, plot is better than this plot. Snakes on a Plane, even though how ridiculous that is, it's better than this plot. I mean, I don't know why the snakes are on a plane. I never saw the movie, so
I don't
the
know.
only thing I can think, are they transporting a bunch of snakes?
I would hope so. I would
zoo?
hope. What else could it be?
I don't know. I mean, might have to watch it, but that's, you know.
But yeah, so no, there's not much to really say much about this movie. I wish there was more to look back on, but again, I'll just always remember Craig Sheffer's baby blue outfit and how ridiculous that part of the movie was. But exciting times here. You know, Jamie mentioned before we started recording that we didn't use any hall passes last year, so stay tuned. Maybe it's submit some wherever you're listening. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know some sequels you'd want us to cover, and we'll always give our A for effort, reaching out, trying to find somebody from it. But if not, may have to use all pass. That'll be fun to have in our arsenal for this year. So because the Super Bowl is next weekend, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Another movie that we've wanted to cover since we started this podcast, just thinking about those movies that don't have that sequel that is in line theoretically with the stories. It's like, hey, we're going to switch a setting, switch a character, switch a sport. So the Angels in the End Zone, This one does have Christopher Lloyd again in it. And it's free on YouTube. I was like, man, why wouldn't this be on Disney? It's a Disney movie. For some reason, it's not free on YouTube. It looks ridiculous. Just like some of the click-throughs, the way it's filmed, the way it looks. And it has the Lawrence kid. It has Matthew Lawrence. He's the star of the movie. So, so that'd be fun for football. And then afterwards, we'll do the interview a little bit backwards. For that, I chatted with Kate Twa, a Canadian actress out of Vancouver. Early on, she had a wild story. So it's really cool about her passion. Drops out of school at 17 to go to London to get into acting. And she was like doing like real theater. And then when she came back to Vancouver, got into, being into shows. And one of her early things was, not too far down the road, was being one of the angels in the Endzone. She even showed me a Polaroid of it. And because she told me the silly stuff she wore to acting classes, because what she learned in London, I thought she was wearing that. I was like, oh, you wore that to acting? She's like, no, this is from Angels in the Endzone. I'm like, oh my God. But she was cool. She owns, she has her own little black box theater and teaches theater like an hour, 2 hours north of Vancouver in like a little apple wine country area. So she was cool. Really awesome stories about her career. And she's just gotten back into acting. She was teaching for 15 years, doing a lot of the Hallmark movies. So that'll be fun. But yeah, next week, Angels in the Endzone, a little back-to-back reviews. So when you're getting ready for that late start of Super Bowl Sunday, which want to move it to Saturday. People will have stuff to do the next day. Start
or
a little
make
bit
Monday
earlier.
a national holiday.
But while you're making the chili and you're getting everything ready, listen to us talk about Angels in the Endzone. So don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast. Follow us on all social media at Sequels Only. And don't forget to check our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.